Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. This morning, I wanted to chat a little bit about Jacob DeGrom's elbow injury. Jacob DeGrom is experiencing a barking right elbow. And the first thing that we have to make clear here in this situation is that this is completely normal. I worked in professional baseball for 5 years, and this was an everyday occurrence. Everybody. As soon as spring training started, things started to bark on the players. This was a constant battle of maintaining good shoulder health, constant battle of maintaining good elbow health. These are guys who are putting a ton of stress on their arms. Most of them are throwing it essentially as hard as they can. It's just going to be really challenging. There's a lot of valgus force on the elbow as they're going through that motion. So this isn't something that is uncommon. Obviously, at the big league level, things are made out to be a much bigger deal. Obviously, in New York, things are made out to be a much bigger deal. But this is a really standard thing to experience throughout the course of an MLB season. That being said, I think some of the things that if this were a player of mine, some of the things that I would be looking at, the first place I always look at when we're talking about an elbow is the contralateral abdominals. If their right elbow is bothering them, I want to see what's going on with their left abdominals. And this is very similar to what happened to Aaron Judge last night. This is a very similar thought process, similar mechanism of biomechanics that could cause this issue. And if your left abs are unable to secure your thorax, your upper body, into left stance, then your arm is going to fall behind you and drag as you're going through that pitching motion, going to produce a lot more valgus force, which is essentially if I'm taking my thumb and pulling it back and my elbow is protruding forward, that's what we're talking about with valgus. If your abs are unable to rotate you across over into your left side, there's going to be a lot more stress on that valgus. Now, there's a lot of reasons why that can happen. Like most of the things we talk about, a lot of it has to do with the anatomical nature of the body and how we're biased over to the right side. Our right abs are really strong. Our left abs aren't so strong. So the ability to get over to the left side is a little bit disadvantageous just due to the anatomical nature of the body. From a training perspective, that's something that we really want to make sure we're taking care of. From an respiration standpoint, I want to make sure that my right side can get air when it's inhaling. I want to make sure that right side can expand during inhalation so that I can, and what that would essentially mean is that if I'm expanding on the right side, my left side will most likely be locked down in internal rotation. And these are the things that we need to be able to do. We need to be able to do things on both sides. Otherwise, we're going to produce some level of vulnerability throughout an athletic event. But again, like there's so many reasons why something like this can happen. It's very, very typical of a professional baseball player, specifically a pitcher, to be experiencing elbow soreness. But from a sports medicine, sports performance standpoint, this was something that I always worked with my guys, was making sure that they could get left abs when they were pitching, eccentric action on the right side to accommodate that pitching motion, and then of course making sure that the lower body is doing the same thing that we want and allowing us and is helping us get into these positions that we need to finish in from a pitching standpoint.